On a couple of injury things, how did Draymond come out of the game? Have you got an update on him yet?
No, I don't. Vince is. I haven't talked to Vince yet. He's dealing with them as they come in, and he'll probably meet with me here in the next 45 minutes or so.
Kenny Young probably will be in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he did okay. He's been practicing better. I told Reggie if we were going to put him in if one of the guys went down, and one of the guys went down, and we put him in. And I think he did fine for his first action in the NFL, period. And then for us, and getting here right after when training camp was over, I think it was something good for him to build on.
Malik was a late add to the COVID list. Any idea if he's having symptoms, if he'll be back soon, and if anybody else been added late or recently?
Yeah, we got 3 guys right now, Malik, PJ Locke, and Boone. They're all experiencing some symptoms to some degree. It will just be the 10 days or posting 2 negative tests before then.
Tight ends, Alberto had the touchdown, first one since week 1. Noah, longest catch of the year. Is that kind of more of the production you like to see from that duo?
Yeah, we'd like, we're not, we like the production to come from anywhere. Wideouts, running backs, tight ends, wherever it best seems fit for that game, that's where it needs to come from. And it's nice to see Noah make a big catch down the sideline. Not an easy catch, and caught it very nicely. And that was the big chunk we needed in that drive.
How do you see those guys, the tight ends and the wide receivers, kind of embrace the run blocking yesterday?
Yeah, I think they did a good job with that. Particularly the one run I remember that was near our sideline. Cortland was grinding his block pretty good, which got us some extra yards. Those guys take pride in that. Our coaches do a good job of coaching it, and they're all in on it.
You've had a lot of success in the red zone over the past 3 weeks. I believe 9 of 11. Yesterday, 5 of 5. What's been the key for this offense, figuring it out?
We've had good mix down there. We've had good mix of run and pass, and so when you have that and you avoid the 3rd and goals from the 8, 3rd and goal from the 10, or deeper, that helps, and I think that's what we've been able to avoid.
Your plan on Bryce Callahan to activate and then not play him?
Yeah, the activate was twofold. One, with the COVID stuff floating out there, you can't bring a guy up on Sunday if you have guys test, and this was the same thing for Ojemudia, if they're on IR. Anybody on practice squad can come up on a Sunday. But to get Ojemudia or Bryce up on a Sunday, we needed to add them on Saturday to the active roster. So that was part of the thinking. Bryce was ready to play, able to play. We had hoped to give him another week of practice before we did play him, and that's why we didn't put him in even at the end of the game there when we made a lot of subs. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Okay.
Victor, divide the season into quarters as an NFL coach, but the Cincinnati game with them tied with you in the standings, and you're at home where you're really starting to play well. Does you feel like an urgency, or does building continue to feel that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the next game. Obviously, we're in the tail end of the season, and our whole it's back. It's a big game. There's no denying that for them and for us. And our whole focus will be to win this game.
Defensively, are you playing where you want to? These last 6, 7 weeks is pretty impressive. But are you playing as well as you want to entering this stage?
Yeah, we've been doing a good job of keeping the scores down for the most part. There's still a lot of improvement that we can make, particularly in defending the run. It's kind of been we've never had a great stretch there this year, especially after we lost the linebackers. So that's an area that we need to shore up and get better at.
Dick, you said you compared Javonte a little bit to Edgerrin James early. What about Draymond Jones? Who does he remind you of in this progression?
That's a good question. It's hard for me to give you a good comparison with guys I've coached because and been around. Draymond's only 275 pounds. And so he's on the lighter side of the guys I've been around. So I don't have a great comparison for you there.
Or guys you haven't been around? Does he look like somebody you're like, oh, he looks like stuff?
No, I
You
don't.
can get back to me later.
Okay.
Down the stretch in these last games, if you have to throw to win on offense, how much confidence do you have that you can do that?
I think we can, for sure. When you hand it off 39 times or 40 times like we did yesterday, you're not going to have passing game numbers that makes everybody happy. And likewise earlier in the year when we had those games where we threw it in the 40s or 50, and you guys are asking me about the run game, so just win, baby.
Are you hopeful Callahan will have a big role this? I know a pretty big test against this Bengals passing attack. Are you hopeful Callahan will have a big role in that?
Yeah, I think he'll be ready to play this week. He could have played yesterday. He was ready. But I think after another week of practice, he'll be even more ready.
Vic, I know the next game is always the biggest game, but in a broader and more general sense, how good is it to just be in the mix right now, to have the juice late in the season, to still be a part
Well,
of it?
that's definitely good. I mean, there's no denying that. I think it's good for, obviously, us, the team, the players. I think it's good for our fans. I think it's good for you guys to cover something with a little more pop to it. But we got to be one game at a time, and we said after the Kansas City game, we had 5 games left that was going to determine, what happened, and we passed the first test. We got to go after the second one.
How much better are you guys after 13 games for what you wanted to see relative to year 1 and 2 for you? And how far do you think you have to go 13 games in?
I think we could have had a better record, been nice to grab 1 or 2 more of those losses. But, we're playing good football right now overall. We have our issues that we have to get solved like everybody does. But I feel good about our team moving forward to these last 4 games.
You gave a game ball to Kareem yesterday. You said he's one of your all-time favorite
Yeah,
players.
you guys aren't supposed to hear that stuff. I mean, what's going on? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm pointing at him. Well, they can doctor it. They don't have to. They don't have to do. He just. He's tough, and he had that hit near our sideline. It was right in front of me, and his neck, shoulder area has been bothering him for a good 6-7 weeks now, and I thought that was going to be it for him, and 5 plays later, he's back in there, and guys, when they get to his age, a lot of times lose their stinger for the game before they lose their ability to play the game, and he obviously hasn't, and I have a lot of respect for that, and he's a great teammate. All he wants to do is win games, so those are some of the reasons.
You weren't with him, but do you think maybe he should have moved to safety earlier?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because, him being in Houston, I was in the NFC most of that time, or all of that time, and I never really got to see him play much corner. If he was playing good corner, those are hard to come by.
Vic, how often do you guys practice the 2-minute drill, and then how much do you benefit from Teddy's experience in those situations?
Yeah, we every Wednesday I pick certain in the game, in the half situations, and we do it. And then every Thursday or Friday, we've adjusted the schedule. We do 2-minute drills both sides of the ball. And luckily, the one that we had at the end of the half, the 12-second, get yards, clock it before it runs out, we did that one last week on Wednesday, so, which is just luck.
Follow up Teddy's experience in those situations.
Yeah, obviously it helped. I think it helped that we've done it a lot. We've practiced that situation more than a couple times during the season, and it was really good by everybody.
The numbers of COVID have gone up across the league here in December, late November. I know last year you guys kind of went over and above the protocols before you needed to. Is that something similar this year? Doing anything extra?
Yeah, we have been. We've half the team, the offense is meeting over in the indoor so they can be spread out. The defense is over here, but they're in the big rooms where they're spread out. and we don't have to do that, but we've been doing that for a good bit right now. You know, and we'll see where it goes these next day or two. We may have to do more.
Do you take notice when some of these bigger names across the league end up on the COVID? Chris Harris or Watt, any of these bigger names? Is that something?
Yeah, I mean, you notice it, obviously, and you know it can happen to you. It's not just, and well, that's their problem. It could end up being our problem, you know, just like last year, if you remember when we were on the wrong side of New England's problem, lost our bye and had our game postponed. And I told the team, hey, it could come our way at some point, you know, so, and it did, as you guys know. So, yeah, you notice it.
What do you say to the guys to prep them for the environment this weekend? Justin said you got a taste of it in Kansas City a few weeks ago and kind of that playoff atmosphere. How do you get them ready for that?
I don't think it's a problem to get them ready for it. They'll be ready for it. Our fans are great. You know, our stadium's electric all the time. You know, maybe there'll just be a few less no-shows, and it'll even be a little bit louder.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
See you